Susan and Linda started their private clutter clearing journey in January 2021 and completed it in March 2023. This means they've cleared all their clutter and created the habits they need to stay clutter-free forever. Susan started with 9 completely cluttered rooms and areas of her home that had been completely cluttered for 23 years. Linda started with 11 completely cluttered rooms and areas that had been completely cluttered for 19 years. Both Susan and Linda took longer to complete step 1 of their 7-step journey than they did to complete step 7. By the end of their journeys, Susan and Linda had saved enough money to book a cruise together as their goal reward. Susan was saving more than the cost of her journey by the end of step 1. By the end of her journey, Susan had saved enough money to have new flooring throughout her house and a new fitted kitchen. When Susan started her journey, she wasn't able to use her kitchen and spent considerable amounts of money buying ready meals, eating out, getting takeaways. Susan had her first ever birthday party in her home once she had completely clutter cleared her first 5 rooms and areas, the downstairs rooms and areas of her home. Linda was saving more than the cost of her journey by the end of step 1. By the end of her journey, Linda had saved enough money to replace her heating system, get her house redecorated. And by the end of step 2, Linda was putting £50 a month into a savings account for her 10-year-old granddaughter, so she has some money towards her first car when she's older. Linda is creating a montage of her before and after photos to put in a picture frame in each room that was cleared. Susan and Linda are friends who started a shared private journey in January 2021. As Susan explains, we had both been on Clare's email list for over 5 years after Linda found her online. We were terrible procrastinators, always telling ourselves and Clare over the years that we just had to do this or that first, and then we'd make time for our clutter clearing. Of course, we never did. And with hindsight, we were dabblers in denial that the only thing that was going to help us clear our clutter forever was starting the 7-step journey. We'd started the DIY journey together at the start of COVID, but we never got into a routine of doing the doing. We did what we always do, talked about our clutter, talked about how great it was going to be when we cleared all our clutter, but never actually did the doing. We never got into a routine of watching and following the journey videos. So we reached a point where we realized we needed accountability to make sure we actually made time to do the doing. We've done enough group courses together to know that the group journey wasn't going to work for us, because as lovely as it is to be able to talk to people who understand, everyone's usually too nice. So if you don't do the doing, they tell you, oh, it's all right, don't worry. We knew we needed Clare to have that real, meaningful accountability. Of course, she doesn't tell you off if you don't do the doing. She asks the direct questions to help you find out why you didn't do the doing. And although that's usually a bit uncomfortable, it does force you to accept that you're resisting or avoiding doing the doing, or you've got a habit of giving up that is fighting hard. Clare always knows before you do what's really going on. Then, of course, she helps you get through it and get back on track and into the routine. We knew we needed the one-to-one accountability, but neither of us could afford the private journey on our own. So Clare agreed that we would share one private journey between us. We paid just over half each, so we got the second toolkit with each step. This meant we had a joint private clutter clearing session on the same day at the same time each week. That worked great because on step 1, we struggled to get into a regular routine of making time to watch and follow the journey videos. We also decided to have a regular call with each other every day after we'd watched the journey videos so we could talk about what we'd learned. When the lockdowns ended, we were able to meet up face to face for lunch or in the park to talk about what we'd learnt on the journey videos. They became our rewards. What surprised us most was that taking Clare's advice to treat the journey like a part-time course and get into a routine of doing 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, actually made it easier to make time. It became the thing we did every morning, which worked well because we do our hobbies or meet friends in the afternoons and evenings. We made our private session 9 a.m. so that we had to get up and ready for it each week. And before we knew it, we were up and ready for 9 a.m. every day. For us, switching to a shared private journey was the difference between success and failure. We'd been failing on the DIY journey because no one knew if we did the doing or not. There were no consequences. With hindsight, we became each other's enablers. Don't make the mistake we made many times of thinking we could do this on our own without any meaningful accountability to others or Clare. If you want to clear your clutter forever, make sure you get the help and support you need to succeed. If you want to successfully clear all your clutter like Susan and Linda, click on the link with this video and start your 7-step clutter clearing journey to your clutter-free life.